I used to believe that if I worked on improving myself and setting goals to achieve for myself and my family, that only at that point, once I achieved those goals, that I would finally be able to feel true happiness in my life. And after I accomplished goals with my body, with finances, with women, I was shocked at the lack of happiness that I felt once I finally achieved those goals in my life. And it felt like I was living a lie for many, many years. If this sounds familiar to you, I'm going to explain to you why we feel this way and what true happiness is. I'm going to share with you two crucial steps that you need to follow to ensure that you can bring everlasting happiness for the rest of your life. This whole concept of feeling true happiness once you accomplish goals that you set out to achieve is something that made a lot of sense to me for many, many years, especially after I went through my divorce. At that time, I was at absolute rock bottom. I was super depressed. I felt weak. I felt worthless to the world and to society. And I knew that if I wanted to feel happiness, again, true happiness, that I needed to work on improving myself and to accomplish certain goals so that way I can find the dream woman that I'm looking for. I can make more money to have flexibility and freedom for myself and my kids, and to also work on the body that I've always wanted to have so I can not only feel strong and confident, but feel masculine again after getting out of a toxic relationship for 10 years. So I set goals to accomplish for my physique, for earning more money, and to also meet new women. And I can still remember a couple months into my fitness journey, I was at the gym, and after my workout, I was looking in the mirror and I noticed that I was already losing fat, but also building some lean muscle around my shoulders and my chest and starting to get some shape again. And it felt amazing to look and see the progress that I made. And I remember I told myself, man, if this is what this feels like, I can't imagine what it's going to be like once I actually get the dream body that I'm working towards. And so it was that was enough to give me the momentum and the confidence and the courage to keep going on my fitness path. And that carried over to my goals with making more money. I felt more strong and courageous to now find ways to earn more money, and also contributed to my confidence in approaching women in society again. No longer did I feel like a sack of shit. I actually felt like I had a pretty decent physique where I could now go out, start socializing, start talking with women. So it felt amazing. And I kept working on those areas of my life. And eventually, I finally found a woman that I've had the deepest connections with, some of the best experiences in a relationship that I've had in my entire life. Not only that, I had a new job that allowed me to work remotely, so giving me the flexibility that I needed for myself and my kids, while allowing me to earn an even higher income than I could have ever imagined. And I also had a body that made me feel strong again, that made me feel masculine and powerful. And I still remember when I reached that stage, I was happy, but it wasn't the happiness that I expected once I achieved those specific goals in my life. And when I really started to think about it, it made me realize that this wasn't the first time that I felt this way before, and that it's actually happened numerous times throughout my life, whether that be in my professional career, whether it be when I was growing my family with my ex at the time, working towards goals of having kids, having a house, having a car, all that stuff. There was always this fleeting sense of happiness that, yeah, I was happy, but I didn't feel that true happiness where I felt I could finally breathe and just enjoy this dream life that I've been slaving and working so hard to accomplish. And that's when it hit me. This whole concept of being able to experience true and everlasting happiness once you accomplish your goals was absolutely false. And it made me realize that I was living a lie for many years of my life. And the best way I can explain how true happiness works is I'm going to use an example of one of my favorite video games of all time, and that's The Legend of Zelda. And if you're familiar with role-playing games or RPGs, they essentially put you in the place of the main character, where the storyline is that you have to now defeat this crazy boss that seems impossible to kill. And you got to work your way through the game, leveling up your character by acquiring and working towards getting the best gear, the best swords, shields, and magic. And when you're finally ready to defeat the boss, you completely obliterate them because you have all of the best items in the game. And so if you're familiar with that concept, you'll also know that once you defeat the game, there's all of a sudden this fleeting sense of happiness where, yeah, you beat the boss, but now what, right? And when you really look at that whole process play out, most of the fun, most of the excitement was when you were starting off or working towards leveling up your character. You were killed many times, which was frustrating, but you had to learn from your mistakes in order to beat that boss, to move to the next level or acquire that next item. It was how many tries that you had to go through before you had that sense of satisfaction to finally be ready to beat the boss and completely obliterate them. And the most fun part of the game wasn't actually beating the game, but it was actually when you were working towards beating it in the first place. And so if you look at your life in that same context, it's the exact same philosophy. And it's something that I've also realized for myself. True happiness doesn't come from simply accomplishing a goal. It actually comes from you seeing yourself go work towards goals that you've set out to achieve and seeing yourself consistently work at them on a daily basis, going through all of the challenges, experiencing all of the failures, all of the rejections that you'll face, and learning from those experiences to improve yourself to then be able to surpass and meet that goal. That's the dream. That's where true happiness truly lies. And that's the whole point of this video, is I want you guys to realize that many of us have been living with this illusion in life that if we set goals and accomplish them, that we're going to be able to experience the best level of happiness that we can experience in this lifetime, which is absolutely false. It's interesting. There's a lot of us that are living very good lives even today, but we fail to recognize it because we have this illusion mindset that's been indoctrined in society for many, many years. And so my goal in today's video is to help you break that mindset and look at your life in a different way, and that true happiness is closer than you think. So that leads me to the two key takeaways from this video. Number one, the first important step you must take is you always need to be setting goals to work towards in your life. And as I mentioned earlier, this is what's going to allow you to feel joy, excitement, but also pain and despair at times. But it's what makes the wins that much sweeter. But it also ensures that you never feel this sense of fleeting happiness once you accomplish this goal, because it will never end for the rest of your life. So you need to constantly set goals to work towards. They don't always have to be huge, big, hairy, audacious goals. They can be smaller ones too, but it's got to be something that you got to work towards and that keeps you inspired and motivated to keep moving your life forward. Number two, the bigger takeaway is realize that this dream life, this sense of happiness that you want to feel, is closer than you think. If you have the ability to put together a plan and set some goals and start working on them, working towards them on a daily, consistent basis, you will now have the formula that you need to now bring this happiness and this dream life into reality a lot sooner than you think. And when I say a lot sooner, within days or even a couple weeks max, and that's realistic to expect. If this is something that you want to build for yourself, if you want to create a plan that's going to help you build your dream life and bring in that everlasting happiness you've always been looking for, I'd love to talk to you. I offer 3 free consultations every single week. You can click on the link below and secure your spot. I'd love to chat with you and help you build your plan. I hope this message finds you at the right time. Thanks for all your support and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in my next one. Peace out.